talk about the hair loss that I experienced after 3 rounds of chemotherapy, what the hardest parts were about it, and what helped me cope with it. And so I'm sure you can already see from my face the hair loss in my eyelashes and my eyebrows, but I'm going to go ahead and take off my hat. So this is it. This is uncomfortable. I never leave my house without a hat or a wig on, so this is it. This is awkward, but this is it. This is au naturel. And of course, somebody just stepped outside their house. So I'm gonna give you a full, as much of a 360 view as I can. Ooh, just cracked my back. I wanted to do this video right after I finished my last chemotherapy, which was on February 25th, 2021, but time escaped me, and I'm doing this actually a month after my last chemo treatment, so this is technically not right after my 3 rounds of chemo, and there has been some hair growth back. It's kind of funny. I've had some hair growth sort of like coming back in on my head, but I've also been losing more eyelashes and eyebrows. I don't know what my body's doing. I think my body is just trying to figure out what the heck is going on. So hair loss with chemo is definitely not the worst thing in the world, but it's also definitely not my favorite thing either. Just in case you didn't know this, I was getting chemotherapy on a weekly basis, and if you want to know more about my treatment plan, I will put a link up here somewhere so that you can check that video out so you know what my whole treatment plan is. So I was getting chemotherapy on a weekly basis for 12 weeks, which was a total of 3 rounds of chemotherapy. And I was told that I would start experiencing hair loss around week 2 or week 3, but for me it actually started around week 4. And in case you didn't know, I did go ahead and shave my head before I even lost my hair. If you haven't seen that video, I will put a link to that one up here so you can get more sort of context for that. And right after I shaved my head, I kind of felt a little bit badass. But then once I actually started losing my hair, it did feel a little bit more depressing. So the hardest parts about the hair loss for me has been that I just in general am uncomfortable with how I look. I look ill and I don't feel very attractive, and mostly I don't look like myself. I think that's the thing that kind of bothers me and has bothered me the most. If I can, I'll put a picture somewhere on here of me before I even had my cancer diagnosis, just so you can kind of have some context for what I'm saying when I say that I don't look like myself. Another thing that was kind of difficult was I sort of got into this habit, and I would even say that it was a little bit compulsive, that every time I woke up in the morning, I would look at my pillow and look to see how many hairs I had lost throughout the night. And I also started running my hands over my head, and then I would look at my hands to see how many hairs were coming off. I guess I was just kind of curious, like how much hair I was losing. It didn't make me feel good to see the hair on my hands, so it wasn't like the healthiest thing in the world, but it's almost like I couldn't help it. I just kind of had to keep doing it, and so that wasn't the most pleasant thing in the world either. So I want to talk about the things that really did help me regarding my hair loss. And the first thing that I think really helped me was shaving my head before I even started losing my hair. And I'm not going to go into full detail about this because I have dedicated an entire other video about this exact topic. So I will put a link to that video somewhere up here about my reflections on shaving my head and the rationale for why I did it. But in a nutshell, I do feel like shaving my head actually helped a lot. Another thing that I do that I think helps, and this might sound kind of bad, but I just avoid looking in the mirror. Not that I have tons of time to be looking in the mirror anyway when I'm taking care of 2 little girls, but I just recognize that when I look in the mirror, it doesn't make me feel that good, and so I try not to do it. Obviously, when I'm getting ready in the morning and I'm washing my face and brushing my teeth, I will look in the mirror for that, and also same thing when I'm getting ready for bed at night. But in general, I just try not to look in the mirror a lot. Something else that I think has helped is getting a good quality wig, and I also made another video completely dedicated to that topic of a wig and how to pick one out. I'll put a link to that video up here, but definitely having a wig has helped. Especially because when I go in public, if I'm wearing the wig, I feel like it's a pretty good cover-up in terms of not looking ill. And when I go out into public, I feel like people could look at me and have no idea that I have cancer. I do have some comfortable hats as well, but the thing about the hats is that when I go out into public, this may not be a reality, but I feel like people look at me and they probably figure that I have cancer wearing the kind of hat that I have. And I don't think other people's perceptions of me are the same when I'm wearing my wig. I do love my hats. They're very comfortable, but in a way I kind of feel like it screams, I have cancer. So not to hate on my hats, because I really do love my hats. They're very, very comfortable and soft, and I basically live in these hats. But that's a pro about the wig. And what helps me the most is keeping things in perspective. Hair is a part of who I am, but that's the thing. It's just a piece of the entire puzzle of who I am, and it's a very, very small piece. And I apologize for the cheesy metaphor, but it's true. My hair has nothing to do with who I am as an actual person, my heart, who I am as a mom, as a wife, as a daughter, as a friend, and also with keeping it in perspective, this too shall pass. This is not going to be forever. Hair grows back. And something else I like to think about when I'm going through a hard time is that one day, what I'm going through now will be a memory, and one day I will just look back at it and I'll say, wow, that time sucked or that time was really tough, but that's all that it will be. It will just be a memory. And so I like to sort of remind myself about that. So if you're going through this experience, I hope that you found this video helpful, and if you did, definitely stay tuned, because soon I will be posting another video about how to cope emotionally with cancer. And so if you liked this video, I hope that you'll like this next one that I will be posting sometime in these next few weeks. So anyway, I hope this was helpful, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.